Hi guys and welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this berry fresh cream cake. Let's begin. To get started on the recipe, you'll want to grab yourself a large mixing bowl, and into your mixing bowl place your butter and your sugar, beating the two together until they are lighter and fluffier in colour and consistency. For me this was always around 5 to 7 minutes, but it may take more or less time depending on the climate where you are. You're just looking for light and fluffy, that's all, you don't need to take it any further. And once you've achieved that, you can then go ahead and add in your eggs, one at a time, beating well in between each addition, being careful not to scramble or split the mixture. You'll also want to add in your vanilla at this stage, and just give it the bowl a good scraping down, and this just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on. So make sure you get the bits at the top and the very bottom of the bowl, as that's where they normally stay together, and you want to get it all fully combined. Then go ahead and add in your dry ingredients. You can pass them through a sieve if you want to, but I didn't this time. Then mix on a low speed to start with, otherwise your whole kitchen will be coated in flour, and mix until your flour and dry ingredients have been fully incorporated. Then give the bowl the final scraping down, and this is just to incorporate any bits of dry ingredients that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on. You can then go ahead and divide the cake batter between your 3 cake tins. I'm doing mine by weighing the mixture into the tins, but feel free to just do it by eye if you're confident enough. I like doing it by a digital scale so you get more accuracy, so then all the sponges in theory should bake as equally as possible. When you've got all of your batter in, you can then divide, you can just spread and level it all out as best as you possibly can. Then go ahead and place these into your preheated oven. All of that information will be in a blog post which will be linked down below, so don't forget to check it out if you're interested. Once your cakes have been baked and are fully cool, you can then go ahead and level them off. I've got a slight dome to mine, but I want level cakes, so I'm just taking a cake leveler and dividing it this way, so then you get consistent layers. I like to brush mine over with some vanilla simple syrup, and this is just to help keep them moist, especially since the cake is going to be stored in the fridge. Nothing worse than dry cake, so using simple syrup is a really good idea to stop that from happening. For the cream, you'll want to take yourself a clean mixing bowl and place in all of your double cream. It looks like I'm using a lot, don't worry, I was using some of this on another recipe as well. So place in all of your cream, followed by the icing sugar. You can feel free to weigh this up, but I just eyeballed it, and as I know roughly what it should look like. Followed by the vanilla, and then whisk on a high speed. And there's no set time for this, but you'll want to keep your eye on it, as you don't want the mixture to thicken too much, as otherwise it'll have an unpleasant mouthfeel and become quite granular. So once you see the mixture thickening up, stop and check it, it should be stiff peaks. Then you can place them into a piping bag fitted with your nozzle of choice. Grab your plate, stand or board, and place a small amount of the cream on, placing your first layer of cake on. Then pipe rings of the fresh cream around the edge of the cake and fill the centre. And you don't have to place any jam or any conserve in there, but to keep this cake within the berry theme, I like to add a small amount of strawberry jam. But before you do that, you'll just want to spread and level out the centre, making a little dam so the jam can sit in there and don't seep out of the cake. You will want to repeat this process until you've used up all of your layers of cake. So now that you've got your cake stacked, you can go ahead and just pipe on the cream. You can do it whichever way you like, but I find piping it in a piping bag the easiest. So I pipe rings around. It doesn't need to be perfect, as when you smooth and level it out, this will help to get that perfect consistency that you're looking for. I just pipe a bit more on top at the start to finish off what was in the piping bag. Smooth and level that off as best as you possibly can. I like to start with the top, but you can always start with the sides, it doesn't really matter. But you want to get as smooth and as level as possible, as this will help when we're applying the coating, which we will apply later on. Don't forget to fill in any gaps or holes that may have appeared in the cream. Being careful not to work with the cream mixture too much, as otherwise you'll overwork the cream and that will make it very unpleasant to taste. So then you can go ahead and apply the coating to the outside. So this is just grated chocolate. Feel free to use milk or dark, whichever works best for you. Dark chocolate will stand out more, but milk chocolate will work just as well. It does get a bit messy, so I'd recommend having a plate or a tray underneath where you're applying the cake, the coating to the cake, and just You'll need to go over it a couple of times to fill in any of the ball patches that appear on the cake, and you don't want to place any on top, not yet anyway. You can go around the edge, but that's as far as you'll want to take it. So once you're happy with your coating, you can then clean the board and sides down and get a clean bottom. Then go ahead and just take your cream that's got a started pipe nozzle and just pipe a border around the top of the cake. You can go with rosettes if you want to, but I thought something a little bit different this time. Then fill the top with a selection of berries. I'm using strawberries, raspberries, blackberries and blueberries, but you can also use other fruits if you've got them to hand. So to help the fruit to stay fresh while the cake is being stored in the fridge and to stop them drying out, brush them over with a small amount of apricot glaze. This will definitely help you in the long run. Place back into the fridge and allow the apricot glaze to firm up. Then you're good to go and serve the cake. I recommend around half an hour in the fridge before you intend on serving. If you can, if you need to serve it straight away, go ahead. But here you have 3 layers of cake and the layers of jam and cream in between. Perfect. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more from me, and I'll be back again very soon with another recipe, so join me then. In the meanwhile, don't forget to check out the description. There'll be a link to this recipe, a link to my blogs and links to all my social media, so don't forget to go and follow me over on there. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed. Bye guys.